Prime it.
This is torture.
What's going on? It's been a few days since I picked up the camera, I think. But today, again, is one of those videos where we're going to be focusing on the EF Falcon. We're just starting out in the garage again because we are installing Viper alarm. So I've actually entirely finished doing my Viper alarm. It's all done, ready to go. Thing remote starts. I'm super happy with it. Nathan is also installing his one. Well, attempting to, getting it all ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
It is. It's going to be a lot of And we also have Lachlan here putting a Viper alarm in his S15 too.
Yeah, I'm already starting to scratch my head.
Really?
If you just look down there, it's a bit of a spaghetti over there.
Anyway, so later we're going to be heading to Tristan's shop and we're going to be pulling the engine out of the EF Falcon for the first time since I installed it. And that is unfortunately because we're having a lot of fitment issues. But I'll talk about that soon when we get there. And just for now, for the time being, we're just going to put the interior back on the Chaser. Okay, so we've pretty much put the interior back together now, and I'm going to demonstrate the remote start. However, my battery is kind of dead, so it's probably not going to start. Press this little button. Here we go. Come on. Yeah. Battery's dead, but trust me, when I get a new battery, it is going to remote start. And it's really secure, because if anyone comes around and opens the door while it's started, it will turn off and also sound the alarm.
Demonstration. So.
Oh!
Okay.
Hang on, I gotta like put the window down. What's it doing? Oh my god, it just remote started.
Already.
Accidentally clicked it. Okay, demonstration. What I'm gonna do is arm the car. Nathan's gonna pretend to smash the window. It's currently down. Let's see what happens. Oh! Oh shit! Oh! Oh! There you go, can confirm it works. Okay. So we have ventured our way to Tristan's shop and we are now going to be pulling the engine out of the EF Falcon. So again, we only have to do this because the clearancing on the engine just keeps hitting the, I think what they call it is the K-frame. Is that what they call it?
Subframe?
Nah, it's called the K-frame, pretty sure.
K-frame, not subframe.
I don't know. You excited to pull the Barra?
I'm actually so keen to pull this motor. Keen to see the raw Barra power.
I see. Mr. Tristan? What's going on, bro? Editing some videos, I hear. The lighting.
And yeah, just buggered, tired. Been working the last three day long weekend in the garage.
Here we are going to move the EF Falcon inside the shop. The engine is currently sitting on there just with two of the engine mounts. They're not even tied on, so the engine should just literally come straight out. We're gonna chuck it on the stand and get cutting on the K-frame. So Lachlan's setting up the engine crane now and I'll show you exactly the issue if you didn't watch the previous video. So what's happening is the engine is currently sitting on the K-frame, and when we bolt the transmission up, it essentially puts the engine on more of a tilt, and because of that we actually can't move the engine any more forward. So it's pretty much what we're gonna have to do is chop out the subframe, the K-frame, whatever you want to call it, or chop out the sump, get some more clearance there. I've lost my train of thought now. The pivot point is the engine mounts, and you can see I can't move it any more forward. We've got two options. We can either cut the oil pan and we can notch it out a little bit more, or we can cut the K-frame and notch it out down there. It's been a long day, all right? So we're just gonna lift this thing up. We need to take the bonnet off as well, unfortunately, and see what we need to do from there. So we're having a bit of a problem. The engine crane for some reason is just not working. So we've got a transmission jack that we're just spinning around, and if it... Is it working?
10% back.
No way. Is it actually? See what happens. Wait.
It's still off. It's still off.
So it's now a couple days in the future and we're back again at Tristan's shop because the jack was not working. So I brought myself an 8-ton bottle jack for Tristan's engine crane and hopefully this does the job. We've just put our new bottle jack on the engine crane. This is from Airplace and hopefully it works, but there's no reason why it shouldn't work. Okay, we finally have the Barra out of the EF Falcon for the first time actually. So we've done a Barra Delito and let's talk about exactly what we need to do with the engine out of the car. So as you can see here, this is the problem child right there. We do have to chop out quite a big proportion of the subframe to fit the Barra. So like I said, there was two options. We can either do that or we can notch out more of the sump, which I don't know if it's entirely possible. I wanna give it another shot, so I might quickly pull this sump off with just a bunch of 10 mils and see if we can go from there. But I've seen other photos of where people have pretty much put a right angle all the way from here. So maybe that's something I can potentially do. It'll just require me to get some more steel plate and play around with it. So one of the things that I've learned working on Fords is that they're relatively easy to work on, and I'm gonna sort of ramble a little bit on here, but there's a bunch of stuff that I'm just trying to work around coming from the Japanese sort of side of cars. And like, they're easy to sort of get your mind around, but in practice trying to work on these things is a little bit of a pain in the ass. We've actually needed to remove this harness, and which we attempted to do, and I've spent a couple hours trying to do to get this harness to Bill, who's going to do our wiring harness, so we can have a turnkey start, stop, Barra, ECU all working in there with the EF Falcon cluster and all of that. But it's just proving to be such a pain, so I might go ahead and try to attempt it while the engine's out, but I don't think it's really going to help. Okay, this is probably the best sort of lighting in my bedroom. My main focus of today's video was of course to pull the engine out of the Barra, but something extremely important to me is being able to do YouTube as a full-time job. So currently I do have another job, which I've mentioned in the past. I do 2 days a week, an admin job. What I'm gonna promote is something that'll enable me to get to the stage where hopefully I can just bump out content as much as possible. So with that being said, I am announcing my YouTube membership today. So if you want to join and become a member and get exclusive access to some behind the scenes stuff, as well as get in some Discord chats with me and get a look at really behind the scenes on what it takes to make these YouTube videos and build these cars, then head over to my YouTube page. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You can go look at all the perks at the different levels over there. Essentially, I'm doing this because it's going to help me get to the stage where I can do this full time. So I do have Patreon currently, and I'm going to be coming off that platform just for the meantime, I guess, just to sort of experiment with this YouTube membership program. I've thought about this a lot, and considering there's a bunch of you guys out there that are willing to help me with merch and stuff, which we'll talk about in a second too, I feel like there'll be maybe some of you that will be happy to help with getting me to that stage of doing YouTube full time. This is one of those things where I have absolutely no shame in talking about this sort of stuff. When it comes to a career, a big side of it is being able to support yourself. Having you guys backing me will enable so many different things, and I'll be able to build a lot of different cars. And I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has been supporting me on Patreon, which of course at the end screen you'll see yourself. You'll see. Everyone keeps calling me. Now, another thing with doing all this YouTube stuff is that I've learned a lot about logistics, because I personally order all the merchandise myself, and I have not been able to do a single drop months now because there've just been a massive problem in where I'm sourcing the product. So over the next few weeks, I will be changing up where I get my merchandise as well. But when the batch finally arrives, which I'm super happy about, I will definitely let you guys know, because we do have some awesome hoodies on the way with some sick designs that I actually designed a little bit myself. So I can't wait for that, but it's just a logistical nightmare with what's going on. So yeah, quick little update. Anyway, I've decided to conclude in the garage, give you a bit more of an update on what's going on here. But we have Mr. Lachlan still figuring out day number 3, 4, I don't know at this point. They're all merging together, but he's trying to figure out his fire alarm system. Comments, questions?
Yeah, get a professional to do it. It's not fun.
We also have, oh fuck.
Bruh.
Oh no, my bad,
In
sorry.
the same spot.
In the same spot. Anyway, we've done a little bit more to this thing. We've put a alarm in there, or a siren, whatever you want to call it. Still need to wire it up. And the hood pin, we're still trying to figure out where we can put that. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Catch you later.
It's always a positive.
We're going to remote start the still here. Here we go. Oh, remote start, baby!